programming stream. I think this is part 11 or part 12 of this specific series. Today we have a few things that I want to do. Mainly start working on the upgrade system for the towers, but before we get to that, I would like to prepare the save system a little bit. I will start off by going into the scripts game manager, and I'll create a new folder here called save system. For the save system, I need two sets of classes. First one's going to be our save load manager. I'm just going to open up. And then our second one is going to be our save data manager. Like so. Let's open both of the classes. First, I'll just get rid of the default void and start in both of them. And what we'll do is we'll remove the mono behavior from the save load manager, and we'll make this class static, like so. And now we'll make few functions. We'll make public static void save data, and we all pass through our save data manager, like so. And we'll use the binary formatter for this. And we'll use the persistent data path from Unity to save our stuff. And this will be a user data, and give it any random extension at the end. Wait, what's wrong here? Oh, I forgot to add the file stream. There we go. No? Oh, that's right. Let's ignore this for now. So what I need is a new class here. And that's going to be our, or I guess, game data, like so. And here is essentially everything that we will need to save. This is where we'll convert anything into something useful. I think we'll use some kind of a array to save all of our data. So I'll just leave this as a temporary, and let's just call this all user data, like so. And here we'll have public game data. We will be passing through this guy, like so. And then what we would simply do is get a reference and then price this through. We would also need our little, so we'll also have public static this will be just to delete the file, so deleting a save file. We'll of course have loading, so loads the save file. And the way we would load this, if we use the float example, it would just do like so. First we would check if our file exists. Actually, instead of having this saved as that, we can set it as some kind of a there you go, like so. And then or should we just go with the entire extension? Yeah, let's just save it with the entire extension like so. And then here we'll just do oopsie daisy. Like so. And this time we'll use file mode open instead of create because we're opening something that is. Why are you giving me an error? I'm double bracketing. Should be a single. Wait, what is wrong? Oh wait, no, it's getting ahead of myself. Finally, we'll again, just like before, we're using the binary formatter. So I'm just going to copy the line from above. We'll create again a new file stream. And we'll say as file. And we can use our application persistent data path plus user. And then file mode open. There we go. Now that we have this, we can get the reference to our player game data, which is below. So we'll do game data. Data is equal to binary formatter, and we will deserialize that data into the files, and we'll do it as game data, like so. Now, with Auravite data written down, we just close the stream, and what we return is data dot all users data like so. We also have to have else, so this is what happens if we fail to load our data, and will be file does not exist. So this will only happen if our file does not exist, and that's when we return nothing, like so. Either way, going back to our saving. So saving the data, that should be actually the game data. There you go, like so. Oh wait, what? Where are we? Here. No. So we pass in the save data manager, yeah, and then game data, well, new data. And then we pass in the data through, right? keyword new has to be used. Yeah, there we go. So with this done, formatter dot, and now we can serialize our data using the file stream and then file stream and new data passing through. And finally, we close our file stream again. With this, we have saving and deleting. Of course, we'll have to populate our this later with what we actually want to save, but it's good enough for now. We can forget about this for now. Whereas in here, well, here we'll have several things. We will have, firstly, make this make an instance of this, so we can access it from other places to make saving much more convenient. Like so, we'll need two functions. We'll need to have a way to save our data, and we'll need to have a way to load our data. Thank you for typing something that I didn't want you to type. We are not going to focus on the saving of loading in today's part, but it'll be just there for the future. So saves all the user data. Rather than if anything, we'll load the user data. We will have a way to store everything that we want. So here we'll also have all of our settings. So since we have sounds that we need to implement into the game, we will have private float music. We'll have private float sound, and then we will have a way to set music. So public void set music, and we'll pass through music volume, and we'll do the exact same thing for setting sound. So we'll just copy this over and just change this to sound. Inside, we will simply set our music to music volume, and we'll do the exact same for sound volume. Volume like so. So then later, when we want to change to a specific sound setting, we'll just set it as this. Sets the volume of the music. Sets the sound of sound effects. With this done, we can now move on to the upgrades, and then later on we can introduce sounds into the project. So looking at what we had done in last part, when we place towers, we can set which type of what they will focus on when they fire, but we also want to be able to delete the tower as well as upgrade it. And the name bar does not appear and does not show what it should be. So I'll quickly set the name bar, and then I'll move on to doing the upgrade system. So where is it? In the doc display, we need to alter the code slightly, and we also need to open the tower script. Where are we? Base tower. So base tower stores the ID, rate of fire, damage range. So what we need to change, and additionally, we need to add a string for the name. So public string tower name of the tower. And we also want to prepare this for the upgrade system. So we'll handle this. I'm currently thinking of making a class inside of the base class, which will store all of these at different tiers. So it's going to look like this. System.serializable public class, and we will call this the upgrade system. And in here, instead of storing all of these values, we will actually store an array of upgrade system. So we'll have a public upgrade system as an array, and that's going to be the tower tier, like so. And what this does is the upgrade level of the tower. And with this, we can actually, let's move this higher. With this, we can get rid of these guys and move them inside of our upgrade system, like so. This will give us a lot of issues within the code because what we before wanted is no longer accessible. The buyout cost will still be the same. The sellout cost will still be the same, but we'll also have another value, which is going to be public float upgrade costs. And that's how much it will cost to upgrade to the next tier. The icon and tower to place will stay the same. Later, we can add some effects on top of the fact that the tower has been upgraded. But that's not necessary for now. And with this done, if we go into the actual tower script, we will add a tower level to keep track of which level the tower is at. So let's make a private integer current tower tier. And of course, by default, when it gets enabled, tower tier is going to be set to 0 because that's going to be our level 1. And now I'm just going to delete these guys for now. Let's check out all of the problems. Doesn't need to see this value anymore. Okay, so with this done, now we're going to go to the scriptable object of each of the towers. And there we go. So we have a tower tier in each of them. And for tower tier, actually, I want to add some headings so it's easier to read through. So header, this is going to be the pricing details. Identification, the upgrades, and finally visuals. With the header set, it's easier to read, and we will add 3 sets of levels for each tower to make it simple. So there we go. If we open each of these, each of these will have a set of damage, range, upgrade cost, and so on. So what's going to happen here is we'll have to manually populate each of these. So let's just do the gun tower for now. So if I remember well, the original gun tower had a rate fire of 0.4. I think damage was 10, range was 2. And then how much would it cost to upgrade? Well, the tower itself costs 50 to buy. So let's make our first upgrade double, which is going to be 100. And then let's add some different numbers for the upgrades. And we'll see if it works. We'll keep the range the same at level in the first upgrade, but we'll upgrade it by 2.5 for the final upgrade. And the tower should be called the gun tower. There you go. You have the freeze tower, cannon tower, and finally the burn tower. Okay, now with this working, we can now set our upgrades. So here, instead of calling this, what we actually want to call is the current tier. So we want to do tower and then dot. And what we're looking for is the tower tier. Tower tier at current tier tower, and that's going to be damage. And we'll do the exact same for the remaining sets. So we have damage, range, and finally rate of fire. Updates the statistics of the tower, like so. Now with this done, I believe this should already work when we place the tower, but of course we still have to update the value every time we click the upgrade button. So in the doc information, we'll create a new function and we'll call it public void upgrade tower. And of course, we have two sets of bottoms. We also have another one which says destroy tower. So we'll do public void delete tower. We'll focus on upgrade first and then add deleting at the end. And deletes the currently placed tower. And then display tower displays all the tower details. Actually, there's one box that we're missing, which is the name. So what is it called? The name. The name.text is equal to current tower stats dot name. What is our name called? Tower name. Tower name. Tower name. There we go. With this, the text will properly show which tower it is, and in our upgrade, upgrades the tower. So what happens when you first click the button? When we first click the tower button, we need to make sure whenever or not it can be upgraded. Actually, there's one more thing that we'll have to add into the display of the tower, and that's checking of the level of the tower for the upgrade button, because we don't want to allow the user to upgrade the bottom if the tower is already maxed out, but that'll be done once we can upgrade in the first place. So same way how we, there we go. So once we display the tower, then we have a reference to our, where are we? To our tower, as it's saved as a tower, which is here. And that means that what we can do is we can check if we have enough money to upgrade the tower by, if I open the game manager, where are we? There we go. Then game manager has there's an instance of it. So what we'll do is we'll go back to doc information and we'll start this off by checking if we have enough money. So if the game manager.instance.money is higher than or equal to our tower stats, and then we will look for our tower tier. Here we'll have to pass a number dot upgrade cost, then we can continue. And this number here is going to be our current tower tier. So I'm just going to make this accessible right here. So it's going to be tower dot current tower tier, like so. And then of course, if we successfully manage to click it, our current tower tier has to change. So we'll just plus this by 1. Although before we do that, we have to check, do another check to see if we can actually upgrade the tower in the first place. Because if the tower is already at its max, we should not allow the upgrade to work. So we will now check if we can actually upgrade it. So if our tower dot tower stats dot where are we? What is it called? base tower, where are you? Upgrade system. Tower tier dot length is higher than or equal to. Actually, we can only do it if it's smaller than our current tower tier. Then only then we can run this code, because if it's higher, then we've already reached the highest level available, and that means that that's as far as we want to go. So now that we have this, we can also subtract the money. So game manager dot instance dot. Is there a money subtracting function in here, or do I just? No, there isn't. So I'll just do update money, and before I do that, I'll also call dot money, and we'll do minus equals because we want to take away, and we'll take away from the upgrade cost. This actually has to go at the bottom because we want to add the tier once we've finished leveling up. So cannot convert float to an int. Which one's a float? Which one's an int? Money is an int. Okay, so let's just quickly go back to base tower and change upgrade cost to an integer. So it's a full number, and now that problem is gone. And of course, now that we have this, we want to change all of the stats of our tower to the new stats. So we increase the tier now, but now we need to use this tier's upgrade. So I'll do is I will go into the tower script and I'll simply call the function that we called before, which was update stats, I believe. Yep. So all we have to do is just call update stats. And with this, the entire upgrade system should work properly. We might add something so we can, actually, we have a text for price, which we didn't say yet. So this is something that we will do tower tab, price text. So this line of code now has to be changed. So what we actually have to do is not tower stats, but tower tier dot upgrade cost, like so. And in here, current tower tier, like so. And of course, we're missing. How does it look here? It has a dollar sign. So let's put the dollar sign before. There we go. And now we have a properly displaying text. Let's test everything out to see if it all works. And if we click on the tower, the upgrade cost is 0, which is incorrect. And the damage is correct though. If I click on this, what happens? Nothing, because we didn't attach the button to a function. So let's add this here, doc information, upgrade tower. And now let's just double check if, yep, it's here. Let's check the scriptable objects one more time for our gun tower. Aha, the upgrade cost is actually 0 for the gun tower. Oh, because I changed it to an integer. That's right. So let's just modify that. Press play. Press the tower. There we go. Now we have the correct number for the upgrade tower. There's actually one more thing that we're missing. So when we press the update button, what we actually have to do is we have to re-update the values on the display tower. So what we do want to do is call display tower one more time. And what we want to pass through is the current tower that we had in here, like so. So I press on a tower, I click on it, and I now press upgrade, and nothing has happened. Why? So we should have more money than the current tower. So let's just do some debugging. If a tower, this is probably where we went wrong. Oh, no, 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 it's the other way around. Yeah, I was checking if basically if 3 is smaller than 0. Okay, so we click on the tower, we press upgrade, there we go. You've upgraded successfully. The damage has changed. And now if you press play, we do more damage. Let's make the damage something more ridiculous for the first level, just to see that 100% works. So our first upgrade will put our damage at 13. So let's just change it to something like 55. So let's start the wave, let him shoot a few times, and then upgrade it. There you go. There you go. Works like a charm. So 10 back to 13. Now with this done, and we can now add the delete to this section. Now currently delete. Currently we are not pulling the towers, so all delete really has to do is refund us our money and then delete the tower. So I'll do destroy and then tower dot game object. So we will just destroy the game object that has a reference to this piece of code. Where is it? And then, of course, what we want to do is set tower is equal to null because it's no longer here. And we want to hide this pop-up menu. So what we want to do is we want to set these guys to false. Like so. So this removes and resets the panels. And of course, before we do that, we want to refund the player the money that he lost. Although though we don't want to refund him everything. So what we'll do is we'll actually loop through every single upgrade that he has and from the base cost, the buyout cost. So we'll put int, and that's going to be the return money. And we'll set it to 0 for now. And we will add any money that this player deserves. So actually, firstly, we'll set this to the tower dot sellout. Well, stats sellout cost. So this is the minimum we can get. We can get the sellout cost, but then we will also loop through every single level that we have. And that's going to be tower dot tier. And we're going to put +1 here because we start at 0 and then we move on, and 0 would be a single loop. And then we'll do tower stats, and then that's going to be I. No, tower stats dot tower tier at I dot and what we'll do is we'll just half the upgrade cost, like so. So we have upgrade cost. So let's just make returned. Actually, no. Let's make another a temporary integer, and let's call it, no, let's get rid of this guy, set this to 0, and what we'll do is paste this in here for now and put return money plus equals tower stats divided by 2. So it's always going to be half of what we've invested to upgrade it. So if our first upgrade costed us 50, we will get 100, we'll get 50, and so on. And then at the end, we will just do return money plus equals to the sellout cost, and that's how we get all of the money that will be returned to us. And finally, we'll use the, what is it called? Game manager.instance.money plus equal to return money, like so. And with this, we return all of the money that we've invested into the tower. Of course, we then want to update the money, like so. So let's give this a try, see if it works. Delete, delete, delete. There we go. Okay, so we place the tower down, we have 150, we upgrade it once, it's down to 50, and now we click the delete button, and that puts us at way more money than we had at the start. Our maths is wrong. Where did we go wrong? It's a good way to make money. You make a tower upgrade and you sell it. Let's put the debug.log. I think it's because I shouldn't have added this +1. Oh, that's right, because we are actually using the money from the previous upgrade instead, not the current one. That's why we added a +1 on top of everything. So that should work better now. So we are down to 50 with delete, and we have 170. So that's better than, yeah, this is actually works now. And now if we delete it from here, we should get only the buyout cost, which is 75. Is it? How much do we start with? 200. So if I wait, so 200. If I delete it now, I get a 20 bonus. Okay, that's actually a very simple mistake. If we go into our delete, so if tower.current tower tier is higher than 0, there you go. This will avoid the double selling. So now we have a tower, we sell it, we get, wait, what? It's like the sellout cost gives us way more than the buyout cost, which is weird. Are we? I've never. Where do we buy? Where is the buying? Actually, so how much does the tower, the original? Oh, that's right. It's not that I was making something wrong. It's just that we can sell it for more than we can buy it. Oh, silly me. Silly me. Okay, so with this working, let's add a lock so we know that we can no longer upgrade our tower. So I'll add another image inside of this panel. And this image will have the little locking icon, like so. And so let's make a reference to this. So this will show us that we've reached the maximum upgrade and we can no longer upgrade a specific tower. So let's go into the upgrade tab. Call it the upgrade lock, and we're gonna set it to null. And here is what we're gonna do is we're gonna check the level of the upgrade lock. So we will either set it to true or we're gonna set it to false based on two conditions, and that is what level our tower is currently at. So if current stats tower tier dot length is higher than current tier, so if the length is higher than or equal to no, if it's smaller than or equal to, we set this to true, else we set it to false. And let's give this a try, see if this works. Let's give ourselves a little bit more starting money so we can actually reach the upgrade. I actually remembered I didn't change the title of the stream. I forgot about the title. No. Um, fixed. Okay, so so firstly we get an error straight away, and that's because we have not attached the new image in. So let's attach the image and give it a name. The log upgrade. So let's place the tower, click on it, upgrade once, upgrade twice, and we're out of money. And why are we out of money? Where is money being? Am I hard setting money anywhere? No. Press play. Oh, that's right. It doesn't. It's a serializable field. That's why. I am actually hard setting the money in here. Where are we? Game manager. So let's just add a 0 at the end, not at the front. There we go. And let's give this another try. 1, 2, and there we go. So we already get an error, and that's because there's a slight issue with the logic. I think we have to do, where are we? -1 here. Let's give this now so we can upgrade once, twice. And that's it. Yeah, so we start off with this, we upgrade to that, and then we upgrade to that. Yep, so with this, the upgrade system actually works. We also have to add this to our little upgrade locker. Because we'll get another error. Because the game still let us click more than the desired amount, but now it's locked from upgrading ever again. And I believe that's the entire upgrade system done. What else would there be to be done? So the towers now work. I guess I can just quickly populate some stats in every single tower. What's the startup price? So upgrade's going to be 30. Let's make this very expensive. Um, of course, all of that will have to be tested because those are just random numbers for now. Freeze will be a 3, 4.5, 4. Freeze doesn't need a right to fire, if I'm correct. Or does it? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. So let's just set some kind of a damage. I think this tower has to have a very low damage for it not to be broken. Okay, let's give these more or less a quick try with the random values, just so they're not too out of... that's good enough for that. Later on, when I get to the wave manager, we will... Yeah, maybe a little bit more damage for every tower. But it's okay for now. Wait, why is the fire tower applying a slowing effect? When did that happen? It's interesting. Okay, well, that's something that we should actually look into now. So it's the fire bullet that's at fault. Where's the fire bullet? Oh, that's right, because last time I changed how the effects count, and I guess apply the same effect to everything. So if we go into the burn bullet, and we open the bullet script, and we also need enemy movement. We don't have a way to differentiate between different types of buffs. So, and the only actual buff that works currently is the slow. There we go. So if it's currently buffed, and then it sets it in there to, then it just slows the speed, which is incorrect. It should actually pick out that specific buff. So let's have a look at the freeze tower and see what the freeze tower does. Because this system might have to be slightly changed. So this calls enemy movement, slow movement. And this calls health dot. So what we actually should add here is the type of the debuff. I'm just going to add it as a string, and it's going to be type of debuff, like so. And now let's get all the errors. There we go. So here we'll just type in fire. And here we will type in freeze. Now, of course, debuffs are things that will have to be taken in by the enemy, and this code has to process it somehow. Or should we just use integers instead? I guess the best way would be to have a time that stores each debuff with a name and a time attached to them. Yeah, so actually, rather than playing with this, I'll completely redo how the debuff system works so enemies can stack debuffs on top of them. Maybe we can add debuffs being visible, but I only have 8 minutes left of the stream, so I'm not going to do it for now. I'll add it to my to-do list for next stream. Where are we? Let's write it in our little document. So add debuffs that add and stack in a list. So that will be maybe next part, maybe the one after that. We will see. Since I have a little bit of time left, I want to add trails to the bullets. So I'll open up the bullet script, which I believe is already open. And we will create and we'll do trail. Is it trail renderer? Maybe. Let's. Where's the default bullet? Here. Trail. Is it trail renderer? Yep, it is. So we have a little trail. Well, let's make it way smaller than that. Better. Maybe a little bit bigger actually. Like so. And how time? 1. Maybe even less. 0.1. There you go. So you have a little trail. I wonder what this is. Bullet speed. Oh, yeah. So we can self-attach. We have an so on enable. Actually, what we'll do is we'll make it so every bullet has to have it. So is that how? No, it has to be a type of. Type of. There we go. So we also say so every single bullet has to have a trail renderer attached to them. If not, there's going to be issues, and it will just not run that code at all. So firstly, let's just do some resetting of our trail. So where are we? Why is it called trail? That's why I was confused. Trail dot. So let's make some variables for the trail actually. It'll be so let's make a header. Trail settings. Let's have a private float for the trail time, and let's set it to that little value we had before. Trail distance. Or actually, what's the time? Yeah, let's set both of them as this and see how it works. If it works fine, it's fine. If it doesn't, well, then there's problems. So trail time is equal to trail time, trail dot minimum vertex distance is equal to trail distance, and then trail dot enable is equal to true. And as we have these, when we disable the trail, so we don't have any issues on disable, you'll do the exact opposite of everything and set everything to 0. You'll also clear the trail like so. This to prevent anything appearing that we don't want to have. Now that we have this, we probably want to attach some material to our trail. So if we go into resources, materials, let's just drop any random material, see what it looks like. It looks terrible, but that's okay. As long as it's nothing. And yeah, there you go. Actually, there's something that I want to do. I want to add a second line here and move it lower, so we get like this. Yep. Not too big. Okay, good enough. So our little trail goes lower. Now with this done, let's give this a little test. Boom. And of course, we have issues straight away off the bat. Why is our little... Have I not assigned the trail? Prefabs. Tower. No, bullets. Let's have a look. Of course there is. Thank you. There you go. And press play. There you go. We can see the trail. It's very subtle, but you can still see it. Let's wait for the last enemy to appear, so it's going to be a little bit more visible. There you go. It adds motion to the bullet, which is exactly what we were aiming for. I'm actually going to copy this and paste it to... Where are we? This component is new. Now that I think about it, I'm actually going to remove this from here. And what I'll instead do is, if trail is not null. So why we'll do this, we'll only run the trail code if we actually have the trail component, so we don't get any errors. And we'll keep the bomb without the trails at all. We only keep the trails for the first two bullet types. There we go. Like so. With this, we have trails now completed. Deleting of the tower is done. Actually, do we have the name? I never looked. Yeah, the name works fine. The upgrade system is done. I guess that puts us at... Yeah, that would be it. So next few parts will cover wave spawner. We do have to add the debuffs, as the debuffs currently are slightly broken. Sounds will come along, but I don't want to add sounds till the end, mainly because if I find those sounds, they sound really awful. I have no idea how to make sounds, so the sounds I made are pretty annoying to the ear. So if I'm gonna add sounds, it's probably gonna be like the last thing I'll do. Where is audio? There you go. There you go. Where are we? Let's play it. There you go. That was a very annoying sound to listen to. I did make music as well for this. Yeah. So I don't really want to play it until the end, but I still want to have the code for the sounds in for the completed version. By default, I will set the sound to muted, so no one can have to suffer through this. awful sound selection. But yeah, next, well, tomorrow we'll do the Wave Manager, maybe fix some issues like the debuffs. And then I definitely want to, towards the end of the week, change how the editor works. So right now, the editor, well, there's nothing wrong with the editor per se. It allows us to draw levels, but it only allows us to draw levels from the inspector. But for the completed prototype of this project, I will make it so that the editor, well, that you can edit levels from the actual run project rather than having to run the Unity project itself. So you can build your own levels, and every level will save separately, so you can export them, share the level if you want with someone else. Yeah, and that'll be it for this. So of course we'll have to remove any editor part from the level creation and replace it with manual saving, bit like how we did with today's setup for the save system. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, same time from 10 to 11, doing programming. I might actually stream later today some games, but I don't think I'll be doing any more programming today. Okay,